what's going on out there? I'm Sean Devine. Hope you all are doing well. Today I have a new tutorial for you all, and it's talking about some secrets in Logic Pro X that are going to allow you to achieve tape saturation types of effects. I've gotten a lot of questions on the channel about this, about stock options that are available in Logic that will achieve similar results to some of the other plugins that I'm showing you that are specialized for tape saturation. But the options in Logic are actually really good. I think you're going to find these really useful in your workflow. So let's go ahead and dive in here. The first one I'm going to show you is dealing with the bit crusher. So let me just solo these drums that I have here on this track and let you hear what we're working with. So pretty cool stuff, but we're going to go ahead and pull out the bit crusher in Logic, and you can do some really cool things with this plugin. So what we want to do first is we want to adjust the mix, because we're just going to subtly mix in some of the bit crushed signal, which is basically, it's going to subtly add saturation distortion, which is really what tape saturation is. So let's go ahead and just put it, say, up here at about 18%. We're going to keep the resolution at 8-bit. That's a little bit lower rate there. And then we're going to up the drive. And let's just bring the mix down and we'll slowly pull it in. But let's drive it pretty heavy here. So you can hear some of that grit being added. And if you don't want a lot of that distortion, you want it to be more subtle, you can just increase the resolution. Let's go to 12-bit, which that's what a lot of the older drum machines were, is 12-bit. So we can get something similar to like an Akai older MPC, something like that. So this is without. And with. So it gives you a nice punch, a lot of presence there, a lot of impact. And if you want to get really extreme with it, you can get more towards, the aggressive distortion. But let's just say that we drive it really heavily. But you can just mix in very, very subtle amounts of it with this mix knob. This is really powerful. This was not something that was actually shown on the interface in Logic 9. It was sort of hidden in a menu, but now it's there. And that just really opens up the possibilities for bit crusher, especially when you're using it like this to get a nice saturation sort of effect. All right, so the next tape saturation secret I have for you in Logic Pro X, this one's really cool, is dealing with the tape delay plugin. Now, some people know about this, but it's still something that it's kind of harder to figure out unless somebody showed this to you, because it's not really intended to be used like this. But anyway, we're going to pull out the tape delay. And normally this would just be, a delay effect. So without it, I've just got a smooth road sound. And with it, we get that nice tape delay, tape echo effect. Now, to make this dive into tape saturation, we are going to take the dry all the way down and we're going to go 100% wet. But what we're going to do is we're going to turn off tempo sync so that we can get down to no delay. So we're going to turn that off. And we've got that at 0. So this means that we're effectively bypassing the delay section. The cool thing is that this character section, the feedback section and the modulation section are still active. So these are modeled to be acting as tape. So let's go ahead and let's just solo it with nothing done right now. I'll let you hear the character section. Right now we've got a tape head mode of clean. So if we turn this on, or we'll turn it off to begin with. You can already hear it subtly saturating the signal a little bit. Now we can also do the diffuse tape mode. Again, still pretty subtle right now. You've also got a cool spread control. So let's just go ahead and spread the signal out a little bit. Go back to clean. It's a really cool spread effect, and you could even use this in mixing if you're trying to get some stereo width out of something. Down here, we also have a filter section. So if you want to use this just as a standard filter, nice filter there, you can use it. Let's go down to our modulation section, which this is really fun as well. You can create some of that tape flutter effect. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the intensity up and the rate up, and you'll know exactly what that is. You'll be familiar with it anyway. So a lot of the old tape machines used to have that flutter sort of effect going on, so you can use that as well. Now, this is probably my favorite section of the tape delay for this purpose, and that is the LFO here. We're hearing a lot of this used in popular music now, what's called tape drift. It kind of gives things this really sort of washy, kind of pitchy sound to pads and certain instruments. It makes it sound kind of dreamy and sort of nostalgic. So what we can do is just turn the intensity up here. And we're going to turn the rate up as well. So you can get these really cool kind of dreamy ambient sort of sounds, retro style effects with it. So very, very powerful. All right, so the last tape saturation secret I have to show you in Logic Pro X deals with the compressor. So let me go ahead and just play this live bass line. I've turned off the distortion I had on it just so it's going to be easier to pick out what the saturation is doing. But here's that. All right, so now we're going to open up the compressor in Logic. And what we first want to do is make it to where it's not doing any compression itself. So we're going to turn the ratio to 1:1, and you can turn the threshold to 0. But we're just effectively bypassing the actual compression. So right now, if I turn the makeup gain to 0, it's not going to be doing anything. But what we're going to do is we're going to turn up the makeup gain to where we're driving the output of the compressor just a little bit. And then we have this handy distortion control for the output. So let's just try soft. And then we'll move over to hard. And clip. So soft being really more of a subtle saturation, and then all the way to clip is more of a pure distortion. So really, by definition, saturation is just a lighter distortion. We're adding some color to the sound. We're driving things a little bit, but you can use this compressor trick just to get a little bit more crunch and more of a thick sound out of your tracks. All right, y'all, so we just covered 3 tape saturation secrets in Logic Pro X. If you weren't familiar with these before, I know you're gonna find these very useful in your own sessions. I use them all the time in my mixes and my productions. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. If you learned anything in this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.